electricity. But if you guys could invent a better battle, or you're the attorney that enables a better battle, or the venture capitalist, or you're the artist that inspires somebody by showing a shape that never occurred to anybody until he started looking for molecules in outer space, you could change the world. In fact, my friends, whether you measure it in yuan, euros, or dollars, you get rich. You would get crazy rich. You would get Bill Gates rich. Head of IKEA rich. So get that done. If you told my father that you could grass in a wheat field and make a word by planting seeds to within less than 10 centimeters, 4 or 5 centimeters, using information beamed to the earth from outer space, he would wonder if you were okay. But yet we do that. We can do that. Now I was flying, and I could not help but once again think about New York's wind resources, especially near the big open spaces, one of which we call Lake Erie. And the wind resources in North Dakota alone are 5 times the United States needs. That's what North America needs. But it's all in North Dakota, not on the way. But here I took this picture of your turbines today from the Bethlehem Steel. Just think when we can put these turbines just offshore, where there's nothing but water between you and the wind. There's electricity everywhere to be had, but then we have to figure out how to get it from where we're generating it all over the place. That's where I want you guys to come in and change the world. People have done an analysis that the real estate needed for wind makes it completely uneconomical. Okay, is that true, really? Let's run the numbers again. Maybe if you're trying to build it in Manhattan, yeah. But at the Bethlehem Steel plant, I think it's a good place for it. In Beijing, China, on every building, there is a solar hot water heater, on every building. And the people put them on there, not because they're a bunch of hippies that want to live off the grid. They put them on there because the heat is free. You don't have to pay for it. It's sunlight. Even in the winter time in Beijing where it snows. I mean, it ain't Buffalo, New York, but it's cold. They get enough free heat to make it well worth their while. So the sun energy heats up this refrigerant. It's like Puron or Freon or whatever else you might use in your refrigerator or air conditioner. It boils, goes up to the top of the tube, gives up its heat to that scuba tanky thing, and then dribbles back down. No moving parts, day and night. Oh wait, all day. This is free. I want some of you to go into the solar hot water business and get rich. But you get that done, people. It's already 8 o'clock. Now, I am not a full-time farmer. Yes, I grow vegetables.
McDonald's.
But I can tell you this. Just think about it. Here's a world-famous a hamburger, 49 cents. At the same world-famous restaurant, a salad is $4.99. It's $5. 10 times as much money. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried this. If you raise a steer or cow to eat, you have to feed it. You have to give it water. You have to give it some open space to run around. You have to collect what comes out. Then you have to kill it. You have to cut it open. Then you got to grind it up into hamburger. Then you got to ship it to the restaurant. Then you got to cook it with heat. Then you got to have buns to put on top. That's got to take more energy than making a salad. It's got to. I have lettuce growing in my backyard. It's a weed, people. Something has happened in our legal system where now the Farm Bill, as it's called, which is this big thing passed by Congress just about every year, where they make deals, who's going to get what subsidy for what, it's just gotten out of hand. This is not an engineering or physics problem or chemistry club problem. This is a voter's problem. It has just gotten away from us. We have accidentally made it cheaper to make a whole hamburger from a dead cow than to grow a salad. We just got to straighten that out. Get her done. Now this is a oil refinery. Well, it's a picture. Picture of an oil refinery. And I like this one because the buildings are so happy color. Anyway, also very common in oil refineries, they make fertilizer. Our society makes fertilizer. It's got all this energy lying around. And fertilizer is nitrogen. And it's made by the Haber process, this chemist at the turn of the last century. And you make nitrogen to put in the soil to give the plants some nitrogen to do their planty thing. Well, there are other sources of nitrogen you may be familiar with if you've ever walked through a field on a farm. These are pigs. They produce a lot of nitrogen, very well suited to fertilizing fields. And so what we're doing right now, we are taking the nitrogen out of the air to make fertilizer, but wouldn't it be cool if we could take the nitrogen made by pigs and use that to fertilize our fields rather than all of this oil and fossil fuels used to make fertilizer by the Haber process. So you may see driving down the road, driving around New York State, Western New York State especially, so-called confined feeding operations where all these animals are packed together and they're eating like crazy. We want you to replace that with what we call the smart pasture operation. The confined feeding operation, that's the CAFO. We want you to go to the SPO. It'll be fun. But this takes voter will. This is not rocket surgery. This is just deciding to do things. That's a joke. Okay. Why did you change it? So the smart pasture operation could, dare I say it, change the world. And hamburgers would go back up to a reasonable price, salads would come down to a reasonable price, and we would not need to use all this oil to fertilize our plants. Here's, there I am on the roof. Once again, that's a picture of me. I'm over here. And this is my roof in totally like the valley. And I have 4 kilowatts of solar panels. And I understand you guys are getting solar panels for next summer. Way to go, yes. And then I have a solar hot water system in the foreground. And then right in front of me there, that dome, that's a skylight. But wait, there's more. It has lenses. It has these grooves in it that make it a lens. So even when the sun is low in the sky in the morning and the evening, light is directed down the tube. And I go into the room underneath, and it's so bright, I think I want to turn the lights out. But it's not. It's just sunlight. Just think of all the rooms, and especially at a university or college, where we could pipe light in from the sun. Even in Buffalo, it is sunny sometimes. I've been here, for the freshmen, I can tell you, sometimes it is sunny. Well, okay. By the time you're seniors, you will. Now I'm going to throw this next idea out, okay? This next idea is a little crazy, and you don't have to listen, you can tune out right here. I'm just going to put this out there for you to think about, okay? Let's say instead of using tax dollars to make big, thick roads that hold up sport utility vehicles, instead, suppose we use tax dollars to make these roads that were for bicycles, so they wouldn't have to be as thick. But instead, we'd use some of that money to build these bridges or these bikeways that were tunnels, and they'd have louvers to direct the wind so that no matter which way you were going, you'd always have a tailwind. And so then we'd have everybody riding his or her bike to work instead of driving big cars. We'd save a lot of money, and then everybody would be in better shape, and then we wouldn't have to use other gas. It's a crazy idea. I just threw it out, pretend I didn't say it. Okay? Screwball idea, I can't know, just forget it. So, when I was young, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, the Air Force, had this plane called the Sky Streak. And it was sexy plane. And I was a little kid, and I got my own Sky Streak. You see, it's completely derivative. It looks just like it. I mean, come on. And the cool thing, the SkyStreak is still made at Gilos, balsa wood plane. The great thing about it, I'll tell you from an aerodynamic or engineering standpoint, it has no landing gear, so it doesn't weigh as much. When you start putting landing gear on the balsa wood planes, I'm telling you, it slows you down. So one day, the older boys showed me how to lubricate the rubber motor, as it's called, the rubber band, with dishwashing soap. And then you can really wind it up, man. You can get a lot of spin. I had like 350 spins. And the other thing, I had become fascinated with this idea. I'd been in a sailboat that summer, and the rudder, you can steer the sailboat. I thought, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. So I took the rudder of the balsa wood plane, and I got it to bend a little bit. And then I threw the plane, the SkyStreak, not the red one. I threw it, and it made 3 circles and came right back like a boomerang in a cartoon or something. Like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And that's when I wanted to be an engineer. That's when I wanted to pursue this thing to change the world when I was a little kid. About the same time, see, here's what I'm saying. I bet all of you have had an experience like that. All of you have had an experience where you change something in nature and something happened just the way you hoped it would. It's cool.